Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, my camera's a bit off. What's happened here? Okay, right. Sure, that'll do. Hello, how are people? How are you all? Um, Welcome along. Uh, Last time, let's see. Last time I was streaming, I got nearly finished the update that I wanted to do for Drawer Genie. And today I'm going to finish it. There's one last kind of big bug remaining, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort that out with the greatest of confidence, and yeah, and then that should be it for that. I'll release the update, and then I'll go looking at other things like the patches for Workbench and stuff like that. So that's the plan anyway. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, here we are. Like I said, last time we got it almost working. We've got our different toolbars working. We've got multiple archive extraction working with XAD, and yeah. So I haven't got packing in different formats working yet. So I just need to investigate that. But I think that's for a later version, let's say. Okay. So yeah, where are we? We had this. I opened them there just to have a look. This is where we were the last time, and the issue is around here somewhere. So what I'm going to do is we're going to have a little look at it and see what's going on. Let me see which one is Georgine. Okay, so this is the actual executable. Oh, okay. Off to a flying start there. Okay, so that's it running. Let's see. Open that. Yeah, there we got our toolbar open. Okay. That much is working. Let's put some files in there and see what happens. Let's just pick some files at random to pack up. Like directory and a couple of actual files. Okay, yeah, grab those two. Okay, right, so we've got a few files in there that we want to pack up. So test files there. And so if we select all these and we choose the archive icon. Okay, so what happens is we get this warning saying it's about to overwrite everything. Obviously that's not great. So what's happening is that Drawer Genie itself, what it does when you click the icon, it sends on a list of the selected icons. So that's a list that has 3 entries, has this icon, this icon, and this icon, and that's all it sends to the archiving subtask. So what's happening is it's creating the archive based on the first icon it sees, which is readme.lha, and then when it iterates to the second icon, it runs the exact same command again, which basically involves overwriting the archive. So what happens is if you overwrite, and it'll do it again for the third item, and we see if we look at the actual icon we see in there, we don't have the readme. Well, probably don't have the readme. All we have is Die Hard 2. So that is that. And that's not working. So that's what we need to sort out. So yeah, so I think it's iterating around, and it's getting the names of all the icons fine. So the issue is in the little subtask, the XAD subtask, I'm sure. And so yeah, so we're gonna look at that. So oh yeah, we have to quit first. Dun, dun, dun. Remove. Actually, that's another thing we could add, is a hotkey for popping up or for temporarily enabling or disabling Drawer Genie. I don't know if there's any point in that actually, is there? Would that make sense? Probably not. Anyways. Right, so yeah, let's go back to the code here, right? So, oh yeah, where's our debug window? There we go. Now we're back. So that's the main executable. This is the unarchiver. So what's happening is this is all a main loop here. Okay, for I equals 1 to icon count. So this goes through one time for each icon, and then depending on what it has to do, it will do each one of these blocks of code. So listing or unpacking. So you can select multiple archives and unpack them all in one go, and it will just do it, and it'll unpack multiple archives. But here we go. This is where we get the archive name from the first icon, and then we check if it exists. Oh yeah, so no, sorry, the archive name is the destination path, and the archive string. Yeah, so what we're doing is we're adding the path onto archive string, and archive string is going to be, where does that come from? Where do we make that? Aha, so it's literally just the file name plus LIJ. Okay, right, simple as that. So we're making that as soon as we start. Okay. Okay, so to pack this up, okay, so this is what we do. So we set our flags here based on whether we're overwriting the file or not, but that's triggering for every file. So what's happening is it packs up the first file, then an icon exists, then it has to iterate around, tries to pack the second icon, which should be added to the archive, but it checks to see if it exists first, and then asks whether you want to overwrite it or not. And if you overwrite, it deletes the archive file. If to do so. So this should really only be executed on the first iteration. It would seem. Yeah, because once you've decided you want to overwrite with the first time, it should just stay. It should just do that, and it shouldn't delete the file. So this should only happen on the first iteration. So this whole if statement to end if. Yeah. Okay. So it might be as simple as this. So. So by default, it's going to go straight through. So if the file doesn't exist, it will just go straight through. Or if it's not the first iteration, it should just go straight through. Except no, then you have the second file added on. So we have to sort out this logic somehow. So we need to get permission from this first iteration to run. So to do equals false. So we'll start off by saying it doesn't happen. Good evening, Friar85. Welcome in. How are you? Welcome along. I hope you're well. Hope you're well. What I think I've got my head around the problems we were having the last time with this archiver. Just overwriting itself. Yeah, all good here. Nice and yeah, getting there. Busy day in work, busy week, busy time in work recently, but it's all good. yeah, so we're getting there. I think I had to get my head around the logic. So at the moment what's happening is it's assuming that it's going to write to the file, but we have to reverse that logic because we wanted to not write by default and then get permission from the first iteration to overwrite the archive if it exists. So we check on the first iteration. So I equals 1, so that'll be our first iteration. And oh yeah, interesting miscellaneous music. Okay, now we move this over. So we're on our first iteration. Then we check if it exists. If it doesn't exist, we need to make sure that it happens. So we switch on this, so it just automatically will archive. That should be it. So to do equals false. Overwrite all. So we need to actually add that in and skip all to do equals false. I think that's it. If all flag. Surely can't be that simple. Let's find out. Yeah, let's find it. Let's compile this. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, that's not an X die, that's an end if. Oh dear. So create an executable, draw genie XAD, yeah. Create minimize executable. Hooray! Now, let's see if it works. No, we want to compile the actual draw genie. Although we probably don't need to keep recompiling that. Let's see what happens. Okay, got a toolbar. Let's grab some icons, pack them up. Oh, why? Oh. Let me check. Oh, we're using the LHA archiver. Yes, obviously. So I haven't updated the code on the LHA side yet, so it has the same bug. Okay, Grant, we got this. So now let's try it. So this should actually say overwrite. Oh, no. Nope, doing the same thing. So, okay, so no, that readme, that was the first one, so that's gone. Let's not mind that one. So Die Hard 2. And it just has instructions, which is this file here, and it's icon file. Okay. Or maybe it's still executing the let's have a look at the main program file, because maybe that needs to be updated as well, because it's slightly awkward because we have two archiver subprograms, but even though one will unpack with LHA and one will unpack with XAD, they'll both pack to LHA at the moment. So maybe that needs to change. So the main code Let's see what happens. Case. Select all. Oh, so unpack, view LHA, and pack. So let's see. Full desk. Oh, okay. Right, let's go over here. So they both pack with Drawer Genie LHA. So do we really want to? Oh yeah, that's debug info. We can get rid of that. So let's. Do we? Well, let's do it. Let's see. Run. Drawer Genie LHA. What do we want to do? Actually, no, yeah, let's just copy that line. Case archiver XAD. Drawer Genie XAD. Okay. That should be it then. That should be it. So even when it's set to XAD, so the code, so that means that in the future when we need to update it, the code, oh Jesus, wrong, stupid. The code in the main executable doesn't have to be updated. Only the archiver has to be updated to have different archive formats for creating different archive formats. Okay, so now that should work. Let's see. He says. Okay. And archive those 3 files for me, please. Yes, and it gave me the warning straight away because the archive does already exist. So overwrite. That didn't give any more warnings. Okay. So, but it also didn't add to the. Oh, what's going on? Why not? Why not? What if we delete it? Let's see. We've got 3 icons selected. Archive. We also didn't get a progress bar there. Really. So Die Hard 2 is there. And nothing else. Okay. Well, at least we're not getting the overwrite request. Why not though? Okay, so I equals 1. Oh, we've done some sort of nesting bug here, haven't we? How does this work? Because I put next I there. If exists. If does exist. So if it exists, then for I equals. Oh, because it's false here. Okay, so to do the first file and not not overriding it each time and ending up with the last file. Okay, so to do equals false. Okay, so we shouldn't be setting this to false each time. It should be outside the loop. Let's get you up here. Undo, or yeah, okay, so to do equals false. So, because I don't think anything else uses to do, does it? It's really the pack, it's a flag in the packing part only. So only for the first file, it will check if it exists. If it doesn't exist, to do will be true automatically. And that's fine. If it does exist, it will check and it will delete it if needed. Do we need the overwrite all? Why do we need that? What's that for? Because if we're only going to be writing to one file, so maybe we don't need those options at all. So overwrite or cancel, that's all we need, isn't it? Because I'm just trying to figure out, because it would be more the unarchiving where we need those different options, because we're also making a new archive name. Well, let's see if we've solved that problem anyway, but I feel like I'm trying to figure out whether we should. Yeah, I'm sure I started this with the intention of doing each drawer as a separate archive, but that doesn't really make sense. So what I'll do is, yeah, we'll try that now. Create minimize executable, say D. So what we're doing, yeah, we're going to go over here and compile this. Oh, hey, Skyfox Gemini, welcome in, welcome along. Good to see you. Welcome in. This is what programming in Amiga looks like. A bit old school, but there you go. This is my own very my retro flavor of nerdiness, if you like. But yeah, so who we got in? Yeah, so Skyfox is a streamer as well. He does. Well, the last I saw him, he was arranging all the Star Trek episodes into into categories for, you know, must watch, should watch, skippable, definitely don't watch kind of things, which was making strong headway at the time. Have you finished it yet? But it was a Trojan effort, like. Good stuff. I'm great, thank you. Off to a tough start in work this week, but sure, it's grand, survivable. So what have you been streaming recently? Let's have a look. Oh, I see. Oh, you're actually not even streaming at the moment. Okay, well, but anyway, give Skyfox a follow there. He's also a fellow Irishman. Can't have too many of them. But yeah, he also streams some games. Not so much retro games. Usually quite City Skylines kind of stuff. Gentle, gentle, relaxing games. It's the kind of thing that I tend to put on in the background when I'm coding. There you go. Don't take that as an insult. It's it's good for the brain. But yeah, there you go. And but yeah, welcome in. I don't know how much you know about Amigas. Games, not quite. Games. I like the games and Random Bloke does the same. You know, there's nothing too intense going on. It's nice and gentle, and Skyfox has this nice gentle voice as well that goes with it. It's a very very soothing. It's good when you're trying to concentrate on something. So yeah, when I'm coding something myself and I'm not doing it on a stream, I'm in one of two places, and one of them is that I need some nice gentle background stuff to kind of half watch, or to sometimes podcasts, sometimes be streamers like himself, like Random Bloke, and sometimes I need pretty hefty dance music, and I'll be banging along. But yeah, so there you go. Anyway, give Skyfox a look. And but yeah, I don't know how much you know about Amigas at all, if you know anything. But this is Random Bloke has one. He likes his retro a bit, and this is an emulation, but it's an emulation of basically a machine I have, but it's nicer. It's easier to do development of this type on the emulator, because it's just quicker to sort stuff out if it crashes, But anyways, little bit of explanation if you're not familiar with it. I'll just give a quick overview. This is the Amiga's desktop. It's called Workbench. It's a bit crowded here because I actually do a very small, a low resolution when I'm streaming, because because if I do it normal full HD resolution, things get a bit small. But there you go. So I do it at low resolution so that people can see. But so this is a similar resolution to the native resolutions, but what I've done is with some of my machines, I've added a graphics card which gives it like sort of PC type resolutions. But yeah, back in the day, for me anyway, and maybe the same for you, the Amiga was kind of like, oh, that was the machine I wanted. And I eventually got one kind of at the tail end of the Amiga, sort of early mid 90s, and I still have it now and I still use it. I use that all the way through uni as my main computer, and it's still going strong. But yeah, so this is the desktop. It's kind of a slightly enhanced one, but so it looks like this. You got instead of folders, you've got drawers, you've got your drives, you've got little programs out on your desktop as well. There's my little clock. But what's happened is, you've got a RAM disk, which is cool. Slightly. Well, to be fair, it's a default 3.9 installation. It's just running on a graphics card, which makes it nice and snappy. But yeah, like my actual A1200 feels a bit like that. It's slightly upgraded when I say that. My real one, it's got a faster CPU, it's got a graphics card, it's got network cards, it's got hard drives, it's got sound cards, it's got a zip drive in there, it's got CD burners, it's got 3 floppy drives, USB. It's got all sorts of stuff in there. A group of Italians, welcome in. And this is a friend of mine from work who is oh, thank you very much, who knows absolutely nothing about Amigas and comes in here to just to say hello, and I appreciate it, and thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for 3 months of subscriptions. Excellent work, thank you. Yeah, so yeah, like all my friends had C64, and there were like 1 or 2 rich kids who had Amigas, and that was it. Yeah, I had an Atari 800, which is behind me there, and I occasionally stream on that as well. And that was my computer, and that had tapes as well, which are great because they're easy to pirate and all that kind of stuff. Nobody else had one, so everyone else in the playground had C64s or Spectrums, and little old me had an Atari, and so I couldn't copy games off anyone. So I had to go to one shop that I knew of that sold games, and spent my pocket money there. But yeah, there you go. And eventually that broke, and I got an Amiga. But yeah, so this is the Amiga's desktop. It's quite simple, as in things are tidied away because there's Nivrig. Oh Jesus, everyone's here. How are you? Welcome in. Nivrig is he's a game developer for the Amiga and for other platforms. Also from Ireland. He's up near Belfast, in Belfast, And oh yeah, and yeah, so he's an all-round good egg. Keep an eye on him because he's got a game in the works, and his games are excellent. Excellent. They're kind of like just one more go, and then all of a sudden it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Those kind of games. That's Nivrik there. So yeah, well, worth checking out. Have a look on his itch pages and stuff. Yeah. There you go. But anyways, yes. So here I am. I'm just at the end, I hope, of fixing this program, which was there was a competition. So the idea was that this is your Amiga desktop, and sorry about this, Nivri, because we have a couple of people in here who aren't Amiga people. So as you can see, it's laid out fairly simply and for low resolutions. So things like the menu bar are hidden away up here, and so it's nice cluttered, uncluttered. Sorry, simple interface, but sometimes it's nice to have a toolbar. So my program adds a toolbar to the windows like that. So that's what it does. And the last remaining bug I had was that when you were creating archives with it, it would overwrite the archive with each additional icon you had, which is a bit of a pain. I'm not sure then. I'm not sure. You know, you've been in there coding on the metal a bit more than me, and some impressive stuff. But check out Rogue Declan if you're anyway Amiga inclined. Check out Rogue Declan. Check out Turbo Tomato. Check out Dodgy Rocks. That was his game, but I ported it to the Amiga. But Rogue Declan and Turbo Tomato, definitely one more go games. Awesome stuff. Anyways, yes. So if I highlight all these files here, all these icons here, and then I go to add to an archive, I should get a requester saying it wants to overwrite it. Yes, because it's already there. We can see the archives up here. And overwrite should do once. And then that should be it. And if I go into the archive and have a look, all those files should be there. So there was a folder, the Die Hard, and the text files aren't there. What is going on? So anyways, we should get no requester this time. Oh! That looked like 3 steps. 3 steps. Hey, it's working. I don't know why it didn't overwrite that one. Okay, so now we've reduced it. we've moved our bug. We're just chasing this bug into the corner. We'll get there. Okay, so the archive now has all the content we want in it. And let's delete that. And let's just run that again, because the first time it's actually bloody worked. Look at that. 1 step, 2 step, 3 step. Ah. What have we got? I used to be obsessed with a couple of games in Atari ST. Hunter and Mercenary 3, yes. 2 of the earlier and 3D open world games. And yeah, they were on the Amiga as well. They were kind of like really showcasing the next gen stuff, the 16-bit generation, 32-bit generation, depending on your perspective. But yeah, they were good. They were good. I never actually played Mercenary 3. I played the first 2. I played the first one on the Atari, and I played the second one on the Amiga, I think. But I loved it on the Atari. Oh god. For such a primitive, nowadays you think of it as a primitive world, it was absolutely mind-blowing just to wander around this planet, free wherever you want, free roaming. It was class. But what was it? Does Unark ever fail for you when running from the shell? There is one thing. So Unark is based on XAD, which is kind of an archiver library in the background. Now, I don't know of any cases where it fails and LHA from the shell works. Excuse me, but there is a bug in one particular library version of that Unark uses, and what it does is when it's unpacking something, it will replace the spaces with an underscore. Now I don't know where that came from because that's never been needed. It's never been necessary on the Amiga, but it's possible that library was ported from another platform where they you know, where that was a kind of a sensible thing to do. So you have to, if you have that, it'll cause some programs not to install properly because they're looking for a file name with space in it, let's say, and MUI is a perfect example. And the installation will fail after you've unpacked it. But I don't know of any archives that I haven't come across any anyway where unarch has failed and I've had to do it by the shell. Now I sometimes just use the shell because that's the handiest, or if I'm not using 3.9, but I don't know of any. Okay, so last bug. So it detects that the thing already exists. Hey Javier, welcome in. Welcome in. We're nearly there. I think I've I've changed the bug with the not adding things to the archive and replace it with a different bug where it's not doing the archive at all. So if I choose overwrite here, nothing happens. It doesn't add. It cancels the archive. So I think that might be something simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to quit this, go back and look at the code. Go Genie and remove. Ooh, there's a nasty bug. Oh yes, absolutely. I welcome all sorts of critique and criticism and constructive advice and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, don't worry, fire away, because yeah, I know there are so many things I could do better. Don't worry. But to be fair, you've spotted a few things. You've spotted a few things for me in the past that saved me a lot of time. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Our unpack archive. So what we're doing is oh no, that's the wrong thing. So our unarchiver subprogram is here. Case 1 overwrite or override all. See, the thing is as well, if we're adding all the files to one archive, then we only need the overwrite once. We don't need the overwrite all and the skip all options, or the skip option. To be honest, we just need overwrite or cancel. So let's get rid of all that. This is Blitz Basic. So this was a language back in the day that was very good and still is very good, but this is a kind of like an open source continuation of it, called Blitz. Let's see, do I have a thing for it? Oh, I do. Yes, I did fix that. And what I've done is, so what was happening was it iterates through each of the files, and it was asking each time, and it wasn't that the archiver wasn't adding the files. It's just by the time it got to the archiver, my program had deleted the old archive, so it couldn't add the files. So now what it does is it only runs the check on the first iteration, which is obvious now. Like many bugs, it's obvious when you get there. But yeah, Blitz Basic was used for Worms. That's probably the most famous one. The original version of Worms was written in Blitz Basic for the Amiga, and then got ported to every platform under the sun, and it's still going as a franchise nowadays. So there you go. It's quite a you know, it has a legacy, let's say. So it is basic, but it's not. It's sort of an in-between level of basic. It's not your Commodore 64 basic. It's not your Visual Basic on the other side, or VB.net. So it's got some reasonable support, some pretty good structures. But it's tailored for the Amiga, so it has very good support of the operating system itself and very good support of the hardware. And so you can do both. You can do applications, you can do games, and you can do, you know, and it'll shut down the OS for you and let you bang the hardware, or it'll do full support. Yeah, I tried Amos a little bit and couldn't get into it much either. I didn't like it. But you know, there's some people swear by Amos is a kind of like a rival of Blitz Basic, more orientated towards making games, so less support for the OS. Yes, and it's important that that it's compiled to mention that. Yeah, that's a big difference because older basics being interpreted are very slow because the CPU goes and sort of like runs through the code every time as it's running, so it runs it live. Compiling it makes an executable you can click on just like any program, and that's it. I'm still using the old way of doing it, using the command prompt. I wanted to get this working because I knew I could get it working eventually. I was just chasing up the wrong tree the last stream, and that was what was happening. So I'm going to finish this. I will look at using the includes and like an add-on library for XAD at some point, but it's not for now. Now all I need to know is why the hell this, when I click overwrite, it's not overwriting. So case cancel. So case 1 is overwrite. All flag is all overwrite. To do equals true. So we fall out of here. This code is actually redundant now because we're not doing multiple iterations of this. And so we'll mark that out. So all we have is our select. So we go to oh fuck this. You know what? I see what's happened. This is it. I was using the C situation where you got a switch statement and it falls through from case to case. It doesn't work like that in Blitz Basic. So there we go. Let's go. Let's see what happens. That's our XAD executable. So let's compile that into a little executable. And now we'll run our main program here. Yeah. Most of my bugs, well, I say most of my bugs, a lot of my bugs seem to be fucking stupid. Okay. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Moment of truth. Yay. Overwrite. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, yes. That looks like the contents. Just to be sure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that. I'm going to copy that. Copy and paste that. Oh no, you shouldn't be doing that. Oh, okay, there's another thing I need to fix. When you copy and paste into the same window, it should rename it like a copy file. Anyways, I can't copy, so that duplicates it. So we're going to rename this. Now, here's another beautiful thing in Amiga land. You can rename it. Doesn't use file extensions for anything really, except for icons is the only thing. So that's an archive. .lha is an archive, like a zip file. But I'm after renaming this text file, which had no extension, to an archive, and it still opens as a text file. It's it's one of those things. But anyways, right. So now there's a file that exists that will block the way for these files. Let's see what happens. So we got those three. Stick in an archive, just to make sure it does actually overwrite it and it hasn't. Oh yeah. See, now I'm eating my words now because what I've done is I've given it an icon that says it's a text file. So we have to delete the actual icon. Pros and cons, folks. Pros and cons. So now deleted the icon. Update. So now it recognizes as an archive, and it does have the proper information in it. So just wanted to make sure it wasn't writing somewhere else, and I was looking at the old file. There we go. Definitely there. Cool. Yeah. It was a funny thing, because it always felt weird going to the PC and wondering what's wrong with this thing when it wouldn't open a file. It just had the wrong file extension, But anyways, there you go. It also kind of because I'd be transferring files to and from PC and working with multiple platforms, I end up giving them file extensions anyway, because as soon as you transfer something onto the PC or onto the internet or anything and it has no extension, Windows just goes like, what the fuck? What do we do with this? Help! So, yeah, so, you know, create an image on the Amiga or whatever, I still end up putting .jpeg on the end. But anyways, I think that works. I think that works. I'm going to run that again. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Ah, yeah. Yeah. I'm happy with that. That's archiving working. Let's delete them. And let's see if unarchiving works. And there we go. There's our files back. Whoop. Ah, yeah. Yep. Happy with that now. Okay, so what was that other bug that I found when I thought I was finished? Okay, yeah, so copy and pasting a file. Choose a file, copy it. Just open this one, you paste in here. Instructions. Oh. Did I click cut or did I click copy there? I thought I clicked copy. Definitely copy. So instructions, copy. Oh. Major bug, actually. So it's running the cut algorithm for copying. What does the cut algorithm do? Exactly the same. Okay, what the hell's going on here? I wonder. Let's see if I copy that. Oh no, I used the wrong toolbar, didn't I? Copy and then paste. It stays there. So it's only on the same volume. So it's executing a move. What was that called? Instructions. Did it actually come along here? Where is it? Instructions, it is there. Okay, so next bug, executing a move on the same volume for a copy. Let's delete that and make sure cut works fine. Cut and then paste. Okay, so it is cutting and pasting properly, just a copy on the same volume. Copying to a different volume works as expected. I feel like this is how some versions of Windows are made. You know what? Probably not far off. Or some guy was doing that 20, well, I'm going to say 20 years ago. That was XP times. But 30, 40 years ago, someone was doing that. And they're left with this legacy chunk of code that they've just been propping up. Yeah, sometimes. Okay, so yeah, so no, not that one. Get rid of that one. Georgini, remove. And where's my little debug window? Where is it? There we go. Okay. So, now I have to get my head into this other bit of code now. So here we have unpack. So what we have here is a giant list of all the different functions. I should put little tags on them so I can find them more easily. Move to, copy to. No, source only icons. Icon view. Could copy paste. Cut function, I could have guessed that. Where's my functions? Where are my functions? Cut. So what we're doing is, I wrote an earlier set of scripts that added could copy and paste. So see, if you look at the Amiga desktop, it doesn't have, by default, it has a copy function And what copy does is, instead of like doing clipboard type of copy, it's duplicate. So it gives you a second icon copy of the first icon that you chose, which you can then drag and rename, but you can't like copy paste to a different folder or a different directory. So what I did, I wrote a script a while ago that does adds menu items for cut, copy, and paste, and it kind of acts as you expect, but it yeah. So what I've done, all it does is it just gets all the file names, stores them in a little temp file, and then passes that on. So when you paste, it uses that same temp file. It doesn't use the actual clipboard that's kept for text and graphics and stuff. But what I've done is I support the same files so that they can interoperate. Okay, and at the top, cut. So yes, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted copy actually. So it puts copy at the top. So let's see what that temp file actually looks like. Is it not there? No. Okay. Well, let's see what happens when I cut. Oh, feck. Run that again. So select our instructions file, and we copy. And now in this folder we should have WD cut and paste. Definitely is copy, root folders, RAM disk, instructions. That's all we have. That's all we need. That's correct. So let's remove you. Show copy. So the bug is in the pastes then. Paste, paste, paste. So the helper ID, by the way, is just a sort of like the ID of the individual window. So the toolbar, because you can have multiple toolbars open, and that's how it tells them apart. So that's all it is. So we paste from a particular helper ID, and from the helper ID it can get the window name and things like that. So cut is false. So we're reading in our list of file names. Okay, so what we're doing is we check source lock is path. If we're in the same volume, same volume equals true. Same dir equals true. So the logic is there to detect. Oh, did it give me that debug output? Do we have? Yeah, because we have debug turned on. So let's see if we get that debug output actually. So yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. 30 years of cruft. Okay, so copying, and now if we choose paste there, yeah, we're getting an overwrite. Action copy, same directory. Okay, that's fine. So now let's try it again. Let's copy and into a subfolder there. So this should paste it and say same volume. Same volume. Okay. And it pasted, but it removed it from here. Why? Okay, so our volume detection is working. So that's not the problem. So what we're doing is it's because when you're copying files, especially on an old Amiga, it can be quite slow. So even on a modern OS, this is how it does it. So the file system, if you're copying a file and it's on the same drive, you won't physically copy this if you're just moving it effectively. So if you're on the same drive, what you do is what it does internally is it'll just basically take the header of the file and point it to a different location. So it'll update the directory entries, but it won't actually move the file. The physical entity of the file stays in the very same place on the drive if you're just moving it around on the same volume. And that makes it nice and quick. It's very efficient, and that's how you can delete massive amounts of things, and it doesn't slow things down because the actual file stays in the same place. It's just the pointer to that file gets put in the bin. And yeah, it's the same if you drag things from one folder into another. That, it moves very quickly compared to if you actually duplicate something. If you copy and paste something without moving it. So this is important to know, and this is how it will work. But if it's moving it to a different drive, then it definitely needs to copy the software over, or copy the file over, and then delete it at the source. So it's important for it that it knows all about where things are and all about its context. And obviously it knows all about that now, and I'm misinterpreting it somehow. Yeah. So okay, so it says same volume. We got that correct. Locks obtained. A lock is just kind of a fancy name for it's locked the file, so it can deal with it. So it's when you get a lock, that contains all the information that you need to determine volumes and same volumes and stuff like that. So it's just a neat way of doing it. And this is just using OS functions there to determine that. Copy flags. If same vol. Okay, so now we're just adding a couple of different flags in there to tell it what to do. So if it's the same volume, oh, that logic is completely wrong. Copy flags C move. See, this is assigning it a move if it's on the same volume, even if it's not cut. So I have to see if that's actually right what we want. Oh, I've gone too far. Oh my god, this is in another executable. Princess is in another castle. So just for the purpose of multitasking, I've got a few subprograms that run in the background. And I'm doing it the lazy way. I'm just creating standalone executables and passing a big chunk of RAM between them rather than spawning a task. Because, yeah, I know. Anyways, file copy is what we're doing here. So we added some flags. And let's go through that again. So oh yeah, so yeah, we have to go down past all these functions. So we get our font information, don't worry about that. We get our block of information here. We get all our icon names from there. Copy flags and move if it exists at the destination. We take away the move and we add a delete operation instead. So we know from here that if it's on the same volume, it adds a C move flag. And if it's cut, we add a C delete flag. No. No, I don't. It doesn't keep the attributes from the source. Like sort of like modified or created time and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't. And there's inconsistent behavior from the OS with that. If you do it in Workbench, if you move a file in Workbench, you don't get the you change the dates as well. If you do it in the shell, you keep the dates, the attributes, which is, or maybe it's the other way around. But anyway, it's inconsistent, and so just the routines I'm using, just copying it and making the file myself, it it creates a new file effectively. But yeah, so it might be something I'll add as an option in the future, whether to keep it or not. But at the moment, it's kind of like, it's not. I'm not too bothered. So what we're doing is going to cmove. See, now when we're moving and copying multiple files, that's where we want to have all the options in the requester. Override all, skip all, that kind of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. So so the logic there is slightly different to do with that requester. If to copy, so why am I doing this? I'm sure there's a reason for this. That if the destination file exists, disable the move and use a copy operation. Anyway, I'm going to come back to that. So we're saying it's move. And it just goes straight to the rename. So no, it's just completely ignoring that logic, or it just completely lacks the logic to deal with a copy and paste on the same directory, on the same drive, on the same volume. Okay, so over here, if same vol copy flags move. So, what flags do we have here? Can be rename, be an alias of move, but on the same path. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Rename and move are the same thing. All you're doing is changing the name. If you consider the full path to be the name of the file, then they're both identical. In basic function, yeah, because all you're doing is changing the path, and that moves it to a different directory. So that's what's done internally. That's what the OS will do, and it's like there isn't a move function as such. There's a rename function, and that includes the full path names. So if you change the path name, even if you keep the actual file name the same, then that has the effect of moving the file from one directory to another. And that's it. That's why it's a rename. And then we copy the icon as well. So let me see. I wanted to open another open new. Now this is getting awkward down here because I've got my tabs. This editor is slightly clunky in the low resolutions. Definitions. Delete, force move. So these are the flags that I'm using. Do I need to give it a same vol flag? If same vol copy flags plus C. Would that make sense to do it that way? And let the... So we've decided that there's the same volume here. Why do I do that here? Why do I not do that in the copy program? I don't know. Anyways, it decides to move regardless of whether it's a copy or a cut. So if I just cut, if same vol and oh, well, is that enough? So what I'm doing is it'll only set the move flag if it's on the same volume and we're not cutting, because if we're cutting then we can't move regardless, because oh no we can only move if we're cutting. If we're copying, a move doesn't make sense because we want to leave the original where it is regardless of whether it's on the same volume or not. And I'm just have to do that. We don't need that because any equals true is implied by that. If same vol is true and cut equals true. Let's try that. What's this? Draw Genie functions. Okay, so we need to go back to our main executable. Oh, excuse me. Now, instructions, toolbar, instructions. Let's copy this. And let's paste it over here. Yay! Instructions are there. Instructions are there. Did it actually work? Did it actually work? So let's see what happens now if I cut it and then paste in here. Yay. Now let's test it. Copying to a different volume. Copy. My very tidy files directory. Paste. Okay, yeah. Let's also test that. Oh, shouldn't we keep that? Oh, I suppose I did click overwrite, not overwrite all. It's a technicality. Okay, I don't know whether that actually copied. You'd presume it did. Let's try it again. Copy. Paste. Yes! It's all working. This is a very successful stream. Yes. Right, so. Whoop whoop. Okay, let's let's stress it out. Copy, paste. That looks like stuff. The T directory isn't there, but let's let's do this. Oh, show off my drop down menu thing. Yeah, there it is. And also from previous iterations of testing, test icon only, copy of test. Yeah. It's been a long road. Okay. One single test of each run through. Is that enough? I need to do more testing, do I? Probably. do I have a duplicate button option? Yeah. Oh, that was the thing. Yeah, that was the other minor bug I wanted, because if you copy and paste to the same volume, it tries to overwrite the same file. So I need to add a special case for when it's the same directory, and then you can just do copy paste to duplicate something. Oh, my mouse jumped. So I think that's how I would do it. So the duplicate option is always there, obviously, with the normal workbench function, which is like, you know, write Amiga C. Whee! But I missed that one. Yeah, so there's always the explicit workbench option, but I would like to have the copy and paste into the same directory do the same thing. And it might be a cheap cop-out, and I might just, when it detects that it's the same directory, just invoke the copy menu command. Why not? Reinventing wheels and all that shit. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's what I'll do. So that's last little feature to add. Drawer Genie, remove that. If this fucking keyboard. I get double keys every so often, because it's don't buy Logitech gaming keyboards. Logitech used to be good. They're not good. So where was that logic? Another button to request as duplicate. Yeah, I feel like it's, yeah. I feel like there are too many buttons as it is. Oh no, I don't have it running. Yeah, I could do, and then it's up to the user, because you can also edit the toolbar and take out buttons that you don't want and add buttons that you do want. But now I think just copy and paste I think will do for if you're going to do something like that. Okay, so we do our copy. Oh, sorry, this should be the paste function. So where's the paste function? We were already in it. Same dir. Same dir doesn't do anything. We actually have no code for that. So obviously it just tries to paste it as it would any other directory, which is, and rightly tries to overwrite it. Don't want to do that because it's going to delete the file before it pastes it. So that's going to be pretty nasty if you think you're going to duplicate your file, you know, to keep it nice and safe, and you delete it. That's bad news. Yeah. Also, don't have copy and paste be your only backup. That's recipe for disaster and tears. Feels like compiling into your source code, you know. I've done that. Oh, I've done that. Actually, I remember a while ago on the BBC Micro where we had BBC Micro in school, and I'd written quite an elaborate sort of login program where you kind of save preferences for each different user and what they were going to do. So you could you know, if I put in my initials, it would just start in BASIC, and so other people's initials would start in the word processor and stuff like that. So I had written this, hadn't saved it, went to test it. I was like, oh cool, yeah, look, it logs me in, it does all this kind of stuff, and then let's log in as this person who has their setting as the word processor. Of course, the word processor dumped BASIC out of RAM. And so as soon as the word processor launched, all my code went straight in the bin. It's like, oh, goddamn. Yeah. Oh, happy memories of primary school there. tell me, Nivrig, have you ever compiled into your source code? Have you? Be honest. I think it's blocked out of your memory. Okay, so when it's finished, it deletes the temp file. So only if it's a cut. So if it's copy and paste, you can paste multiple copies of it, obviously. Oh, they were just teasing you, are they? You got to play one game of Hangman and then never saw it again. Oh dear. Yeah. See, yeah, we had one BBC Micro. It was and it was one BBC Micro for the entire primary school. So we were kind of oh yeah, there you go. So it was kind of well, where's my thingy? Yeah. Hey, why can't I click that? Nivri, can you click the thingy there for that guy? Where is it? For fuck's sake. Ah, there we go. Anyways, yeah, we had one BBC Micro for the whole school, and no one was allowed near it, except when I started programming on it, and I was showing teachers that I was programming it. They kind of said, "Oh, wow, you know, it doesn't automatically break if a kid touches it. Let's do this." So I started writing games on it, and I got a bit of a talking to, but the people were still allowed to use it, instead of it being a precious thing that kind of, you know, the teacher would demonstrate and say, "Look, and if you type this, this happens," and then it goes away. But yeah, so we actually got to use it a bit. But yeah, okay, so where are we? So I think what I'm going to do is just ignore this entirely. Actually, invoking the copy thing. Oh, good save. Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't supposed to write games. I was supposed to, you know, write spelling test programs and, you know, maths quizzes and things like that. That's what they wanted. Okay. So if I go to the copy thing, oh yeah, so I'm writing this this bestseller. That's a great game. That is yes. Oh yeah, Good Memories of Trust. I had that in the Atari, and I went back to it a while ago, and what I love about it on the Atari is that the keyboard was so bad and couldn't do multiple key presses, so you have to use the function keys, the start and select buttons, I think, for controlling your ship. So you got this keyboard in front of you, and the buttons you have to press are the three up the right hand side to control it, because they're the only ones you could hold one while pressing another. Uh-huh. Yeah. Hey, Kevin, welcome in, Scottish Serenity. Doing some Amiga coding, welcome along. Oh, Scottish, another streamer as well. Who is just starting to delve into coding, and you know, is developing a game, and excellent stuff so far. Yeah, yeah. I wrote a tic-tac-toe game for the BBC in school and got a little bit of a, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. And I also wrote a chasing game, which was very, very simple. Just two characters, like as in literally a star and a hash sign, and two people had two different sets of arrow keys, or WASD and stuff, and you just moved one and try and catch the other, and it seems nonsense, but like that gave us a lot of fun, because the taunts and the slaggings that would go on. But yeah, anyways, Jesus, I'd love to get the code back for that. But anyways, right, so programming. Yes, so I feel like need to send you a copy of what? Sorry, did I miss that? What was that? Of Blitz Basic? Or what were you looking for? So I've missed something. Oh yeah, yeah, arrow key game. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I'm sure, like, I could knock it up in 30 seconds probably, but yeah. Oh, hey, Amiga dude. Priorities. This is nearly finished. Nearly fucking finished. And then I've got other things to do. I'm surrounded by Solus boards at the moment. I got my Solus boards from China. Ooh. So they all need to be programmed, and there's one wrong resistor on it, and then I need them to be and then I need to get all the other stuff together for them. But anyways, right, one thing at a time. Finished. This update is just about finished. Yes, actually. So one thing left is to copy and paste a file. I should duplicate it. So I actually think I won't use the workbench function for this. I think I'll do it. Yeah, I think I'll do it the actual copy way. Got 500 for free. Oh, the screen goes green. Take out the expansion, and I think everything works. Yes, that is probably, or almost certainly, because the battery on the expansion has leaked, and that expansion is dead. You're lucky because an A500 Plus has that extra memory on board, but also has the battery on board. And if the battery leaks, then it kills the motherboard, not just your expansion. So you can buy a new RAM expansion for the 500 pretty cheaply these days, like brand new, using a modern memory chip, and it's like 20 quid or something. So there you go. I haven't been that far in Roguecraft. I've literally only dabbled in it, so I see it was released there recently. I'll have to give it. I'll have to get it and give it a go myself at some point. But oh yes, and I saw that. I'll give you that shout out as well. Actually, speaking of Roguecraft, oh, where are we? Yeah. Okay, so we'll get a if DOS exists, full destination. So oof, nice. Good work. So we should have dest path and where we should have two paths. So let me see. Let me get this straight in my head. Destination path is there. And destination path. So destination path and Okay, so the full path for each icon is stored separately. Fair enough. Well, but feel free to actually you can post if you were wanting to. You can post that in the Scottish Amiga group, because you might find someone who wants it who's nearby, and it makes things a hell of a lot easier when you're dealing with shipping and all that kind of stuff, and you don't have people machines getting smashed up in the post and things like that. Yeah. So copy flags, copy move. Oh, what is this about? Why is this here? I don't. So for each file, we're check if the full destination exists. If the full destination exists. Renaming after leave if I cause a file to be lost. This is the logic that I have to try and fix that problem. Oh, that was from Cam. Yeah, and she's lovely, and she's got quite a following, and because she's in Australia, she streams like early in the morning, our time, which is kind of unfortunate because I only grab her the odd time. Yes, I did. Yeah, that's all sorted, so that's all working. The last thing is this thing. So they've got this logic here for copying and pasting to the same copying and pasting to the same location. It's on the project list in maybe someday, but like all this stuff that's taking up time, that's it, But okay, so what am I trying to do here? So I'm taking away the move flag and adding the delete flag. So I'm turning this into a standard copy from one copy to a different directory. If copy flags, so if it's a move, full destination already exists. Oh, I think this was to fix a bug where if you went to delete a file and then tried to rename a file too quickly, the file wasn't deleted yet and the copy would fail and your file is left in limbo. Oh yeah, no, I remember now. That's the story. That is the story. Okay, so that's fine. I'll leave that code alone then. Okay. Okay, if to copy, so DOS rename else. So move flag is not set. So hold on a second. So we have to go back up here. So we've got a little bug fix bit of code here. So full destination. So if it exists, yeah. Yeah, this is the thing. Well, yeah, cool. Well, sure, yeah, lurk away, absolutely, appreciate it, and talk to you soon. So, right, so this logic here, so if it exists, if it's a move and it exists, then there's a potential that it is in the same directory. So, so let's see. Either way, we're going to get rid of the move flag because paste. So that paste should only happen if it's a different directory. Sorry, this delete. Because if it's the same directory, we want a unique operation which doesn't delete the source file. Okay, so dull destination. Ugh. Full destination equal to dest path string. So full dest. Okay. Oh yeah. If dest path equal to so destination path equal to DOS path part paths if dest path string equals DOS path part paths if dest path string equals DOS path part. So what path part does, it takes a complete path and it chops off the actual file, so you're left with the actual path. This is dangerous because the path can be equivalent if they have this can be dangerous because the path can be the same and they can have a different end point on them. Like, so you can have a trailing slash or a trailing colon, and it'll be the exact same path, but one will have it and one won't. So you can't actually do a string compare like that without dealing with the edge cases and using the OS to do it. Same dir thing. How do I do that again? How did I do that? Oh, yeah, I'm getting locks and stuff like that now. I can't be arsed with that. So I think what we need to do is do a same dir flag. Let's add a same dir flag to this. Let's see. So we'll set a duplicate flag, and that's 8. And we'll use that. So if same dir. Oh, we don't really use same dir for anything else, do we? If same dir. Oh, and we only want to do that. No, we want to leave that. We'll sort out the logic afterwards for whether it's a cut or a copy, because if it's a cut and it's the same directory, you should just do nothing. But we have to make that distinction as well. You mean instead of the double equals from C and whatever else? Yeah, Blitz makes some assumptions like that. Well, most basics or all basics do, as far as I know. So it's an assignment because you don't really check an assignment for. Well, actually, I think you can check an assignment for completion or for success, but I think no matter what happens, it's either successful or the program crashes. So there's no point in checking, you know. You can just do an if true afterwards. Yeah, okay, so that should give us a new flag. So we don't need that. And we'll put that back the way it was. Okay, so it will be a move because of the same directory. Same thing. Okay. So where's our loop? Sorry. Full destination is that. If DOS exists. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry. What am I doing? Crap. Yeah. Check our flags first. And what was it? So, copy. And if so, DOS exists. If copy flags and C duplicate. We also want to say, where do we find out whether it's a copy or a paste? Oh. This doesn't deal with copy or paste. Sure, it doesn't. And this is dumber than that, which means this is either just a move or a copy. Now that logic has to go elsewhere. Okay. Okay, so if... Okay, oh yeah. So the logic here is file part path. So the file name we're going for is this. File name is that DOS file part path string. Okay, so that's our file name now. But we want that, so we want it to be copy of, and that's the standard Amiga way of doing things, isn't it? Let's see what's it called. Copy of, yeah, with underscores. So maybe that. Oh yeah, sorry. No, we want to do. Yeah, we do the full thing then. Copy and paste this. So let's see. This pattern. And now we have to do a loop. Dun, 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 dun. And then our error flag, or this is just a general flag that I use, which is a bad habit, I suppose. And then oh no, we can do this another way, can't we? So we've already got our file name. So I can't. Fuck yeah, no, we'll just do it. It's a long way. So we know now that the file already exists with a copy of in it. So then copy counter, copy of DOS file part path string. Okay. Copy 2 of, copy 3 of. Oh, do we want to start that at 2? What does this say? Copy 1 of, copy 2 of. Okay. Yeah, so we're just duplicating that behavior. Full test DOS add part. And the reason I'm not invoking the workbench menu is that it's just a little bit messy with AREX, because this is already talking to the AREX port of the parent program, and maybe it is worth switching ports. Behavior, yeah. Yeah, like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah. What am I doing? Yeah, no, this is the kind of, I was trying to think about that. Until DOS equals false. Yeah. And so until we find one that doesn't exist, that should be it. So DOS exist full destination equals false. And then we will we'll get rid of it. We'll do the same thing here. Copy flags, C move. So then we'll change it into a move, or we don't want it to be a move. Copy flags, duplicate. Oh yeah, no, we'll say that the move flag, just in case. So if it's set to do the move, then we'll take away that flag. I can do that with a binary operation as well, and just, yeah. Yeah, because each of these flags is equivalent to 1 bit, so I can just sub out that bit either way. But I just want to, yeah, I'm just doing this kind of thinking out loud more than anything else. Yeah, it's not going to make a difference efficiency wise, unless you're like deleting millions of teeny tiny files on a really fast drive. So it won't be a move, it'll definitely be a copy, and we have a new file name. So move flags not set. I think that's it, is it? Is it? Let's up revise this one. 0.3, what date is it today? 10th September. Just so I know it's the new version, 2024. Hooray. Is that it? Is that it? Version bump, absolutely. I should version bump everything. I did version bump this last time, but the date has changed, so let's do 10th of September. And Drogini XAD as well. I will also have to fix that code in... Oh yeah, well that's the same. That's the first version. I'll have to update the LHA code as well. Or the LHA child task. I'll have to do that as well. Okay, right. Oh no, that wasn't it. This one. So... Oh yeah, so we have to fix the logic in the function if same dir. Copy flags, see, duplicate, copy and paste in the same directory. We shouldn't need anything else. So what other copy flags are there? Delete, force, move, duplicate. The same dir. So if same dir and cut equals false, so I think we'll actually might have to complete, make a specific case for when we do a cut and paste, because that's the same directory. If same dir and because we want to rule it out doing that. But anyway, let's test this and see what happens. So say that. So we've got our new copy executable. Hopefully that is compiled into the right place. Especially after our conversations earlier. And drawer genie itself. Let's go. And I am not running the debugger because I'm brave/stupid. Okay, so instructions. Let's copy that. Nothing's happening. Or maybe something's happening. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. See? See? I said that. I should have been running a debugger. Bollocks. Oh well. You know what that means? Crash counter. Did it work? Oh, my crash counter's not working. My crash counter has crashed. What is going on? Yeah. Crash count +1. Why isn't that working? Oh, there we go. Yeah. But this isn't the copy task. This is the actual... Yeah. Yeah. This is the main executable that's crashed, or that's hung because the toolbar isn't moving, so it's not, that's frozen somewhere. Ugh. And it's not responding to an exchange. So reboot. pretty annoying. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. Dun, dun, dun. So, drawer genie, there's 3. Now, let's try it again with the debugger. Oh yeah, that's right. The code is so chunky and spaghetti-ish that I can't run the debugger. So I have maybe that's the problem. Maybe my case buffer here is just too big. So we're going to separate something else out into a function. Or a go sub. So copy to. Yeah, we're going to have to copy some chunks of code out of here, I think. Unfortunately, I think it's got a limit like 64k in a structure. Yeah, I should create functions and procedures, but because I'm working with so many variables and so many globals here, a function is just a bit of a pain in the ass for these things. So I think I'll just do a go sub. Don't do this at home, kids. Oh no, sorry, that's okay. Right, I've actually got other stuff here up here. X free. Yeah. This is true. Yeah, go sub is pretty quick because it's literally just a JSOR and a return, isn't it? So we're gonna, just to be safe, we're gonna copy that. So what are we doing? We're gonna do unpack. Yeah, for this it makes no difference because the main loop isn't executing like that. So oh my god. We just literally need to relocate some code. What's happened there? What the fuck? And what the Ooh, just be careful here. Okay, it's after indenting something there, but how much has it indented? Fuck me, that's a bit of a shitty bug. They're all fine, but the bottom end of the loop has indented left. And I don't know how much because that is all wrong indent level there. Right, okay. Close that. Unsave changes, continue. Open that again. Now, let's try again. Jesus. Yeah, that was weird. Weird. Where did the indent go? Okay. So what was that routine that we were going to dot? Unpack and return. So unpack. So that's our end of that. So let's just unpack, paste our code here. Now let's try that again. Oh. Make sure we've only highlighted this much code. Excellent. Okay. Unpack. Okay. We'll do the same here. Case view LHA. That's our, oh yeah. Now, dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. So, and then the last one's pack. The reason I'm using the putting labels here, but if you add a dot before the label, it's the same as not adding a dot, except that it shows up in the little nav bar at the right there. So you can see there, and so you can just click, it goes straight to a certain part of your source code. So it's always good to do the dot in front of it. No. Always nervous saving a big change like that. So pack and unpack. So go to pack. So I'm after taking a bunch of code out of the main case there. Hopefully that's enough. Label has been used as a constant. Label has been used as a constant. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. Oh. Unpack archive. Oh. Pack archive. Okay, it's working. Yes, oh yes, so I was going to test it now. After all that, test it. Let's look at some files in here. We had some test files in here. Let's see, go in here. So what were we doing? We're going to copy of test. So instructions, copy. Still alive. Files, instructions, and oh yeah, no, yeah, that's right. Before I press that, I wanted to run it with the debugger. Let's see what's happening. Can I still? Am I still? Is that block still too big? Previous case block too large. Image include. Oh, what? What? Image include. Where are my includes? Switch off the runtime error, the debugger errors there. I don't know if that's going to work, is it? Yeah. Okay, so actually, sorry, that probably didn't need to do that. It was a case block in one of the includes, which are supplied by the with the compiler. So I don't know why they were given errors like that. They should have been factored out already. I don't know. Anyways, instructions. Let's do a copy of that and a paste. Copy of instructions. Okay. Okay. I was like, where is it? But it's actually on top of it because it's copied over the icon positions. Okay. Might be an idea to it might be an idea to deal with that. Yeah, it is a problem. It's kind of like you don't normally hit on it until you reach a certain kind of complexity of program. But yeah, I hit against it in Ouija Nights and in Dodgy Rocks, and so I had to start copying stuff out. And especially in Dodgy Rocks, it's very tight on CPU cycles, and so the Go sub was a godsend then. Yeah. But yes, properly done, you should be using functions and things like that. But yeah, for speed, a Go sub is definitely quicker, and of course it's essentially just like relocating a chunk of your code. You've got all your variables, everything is still there, for better or for worse. But yeah, it's the easy fix for this kind of situation. Okay, so that was working. Let's see what happens if I paste again. Copy one of instructions. Okay, has it stopped working? Copy one of instructions. So, okay, it got as far as one. Copy. And now paste, 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 paste. Why is it not doing it now? Oh, I think there's something wrong with my loop logic. Maybe I did take a shortcut too much that time. Let's have a look. Source code. Drogeny copy. Oh no, it wasn't in here. It was in Drogeny functions, wasn't it? Yeah, well, jumps in themselves. Yeah. Fair enough. Jumps in themselves aren't a problem, but how Blitz compiles introduces a lot of jumps, so you end up with thousands and thousands of them depending on what happens. So it's kind of they do kill the speed, but a jump in itself isn't a speed killer if you're putting it in there. It's just one. The problem is that if you think of the command libraries, so how Blitz works internally is, the command library, let's say the graphics, let's say the what's it called, the display library. If you use any of those commands, they get attached as a chunk of binary to the end of your executable, and then your executable loop, whenever it comes across one of those functions, it will jump to the code that you've compiled in at the bottom. So it's the linked code basically, and it will run it there and then jumps back. And so if you use a lot of those things, there are a lot of jumps, and some commands internally use other commands, which means that you get jumps within those jumps that you can't even see. You just don't see that they're there. So it's kind of it's why you get large executables, and it's why you do get a lot of jumps. But it is also kind of what makes it basic, and how it has such quick compile times. For a project of yeah, exactly, the entire lib. So some libraries, that the new libs they're called, and the there are a couple of different libraries. The iPrimus libs, I think, for Blitz Basic, they replace some of the functionality with really, really well written, really tight assembly. Not that the original code is that bad. It's just inefficiently designed. But the new libraries are much more efficient, and they hold everything, they in a much smaller block of code. And so they're quicker, and they take up a lot less RAM. Your executable is much smaller. The downside is they don't support the nice Blitz objects, which is kind of like part of using BASIC. Like, you don't have you have to deal with window pointers and gadget pointers and gadget structs and things like that the same way you would handle them in C. So it's a lower level, and that's losing some of the basicness, if you like. But that's your trade-off, So the option is there if you want to go tighter with it and to make smaller executables. It's there. It does a small amount of optimization if you do some compiles, and it'll cut certain sections of code out and stuff like that, but it's not a huge thing. Yes, you can. There are a couple of things. If it's just definitions and things like that, like structs and things, you can do that with what's it called? With an include file. What's it called? What are they called? Jesus, a resident file. Thank you. And that pre-compiles all that stuff, but you can't actually put like functions in that. You can make a library if you want, and there are if you look at the archives, if you look at the kind of the documentation and the examples and stuff like that in the development folder, there are the kind of templates for how to make a command library. And if you make a command library and compile that, then you just import that into your deflibs, and then they're there as blue commands. You can, of course, use an include, and like an image, like for example, the image include has loads of different functions there, and that's kind of like nice way of doing it because the code is still there. It needs to be compiled at compile time, but it works well, and it's good. So if you do it as a library, it will essentially be pre-compiled if it's commands. So you can do that, and functions will look like blue word functions, like these guys. So yeah, that's perfectly doable. Let's close that anyway. Where's Georgini Funks? I wanted to go in there. Okay. It was here that I was working on, wasn't it? I forget now. Jesus. So, copy flags and duplicate. No, sorry, it wasn't. It was in the Georgini copy. So, duplicate fnames copy of. So then we get DOS exists copy counter. So we got to copy 1. Full name. Oh, fuck. I'm amazed this worked at all and didn't just get in. I probably did actually crash into an infinite loop. Right, we're not incrementing our counter. There we go. Yes, that would do it. Now, let's try. Compile and run. With the debugger this time. Okay, instructions. Let's delete these two just for now. Oh. What's happened here now? What is going on now? Oh, you are taking, because that's delete was just Ah, yeah. What happened there? Because that's a function I haven't touched, and it works. Ah, okay. Crash count. Right, let's reboot that. Right, you know what? I might abandon this whole routine and just go and implement it as a workbench shortcut. Oh dear, in bloody deed. Like I said I would ages ago, I'm going to implement it as a... Because I can't... I have to remember how to do that. How did I do that? Menu, window, invoke. Oh, yeah. Exactly. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use... I'm just going to send it to... It's like... Yeah, because I was thinking it's awkward to send the message to Workbench from the copy. And that is exactly what I said. No point reinventing the wheel. I said that earlier. And then I went and reinvented the wheel and it crashed. And I'm just... Yeah, no, I don't know what's going on. And it crashed a routine that it wasn't involved in. So I think I'm just hitting against some sort of... I might be corrupting memory or something somewhere. So send message. So yeah, I was saying I can't send or it's awkward to send a message to Workbench from the copy task, but I don't need to because Workbench, I can just send it from here. Now this will pause. No, it won't, because it's just invoking the menu. So then Workbench deals with the multitasking. So I call that from the functions. Georgie funcs. So copy flags equals 0. Don't need that anymore. Don't need that flag anymore. So copy flags. Oh, is there a situation where copy flags will be wrong, or will be 0? Probably. So we'll have to make sure it doesn't actually run the copy. So all we can do is if same dir equals false, because we don't want it to do anything anyway if it's the same directory, because a cut doesn't make sense, and the copy will deal with here with the Workbench. Menu, window, invoke, window dot... What's the window? What's the menu item? Window dot icons dot copy. Windows dot icons dot copy. Should that work? And then we down here. Right. Good night, Ian. Thanks very much. I'll probably be. I was going to say not far behind you, but not in your bed. Have a good night. And thanks for dropping in. So let's only run this code if it's not the same. Okay, so we don't even run the task if it's the same directory, and that should solve it for cut and for copy. Maybe. Ow. Cables. Let's see. Let's see. Drawer genie. Here we go. Oh no. Drawer genie functions. ARX send message. How is helpers EW? Oh, balls. So that's in the paste routine. Paste is given the EW variable. Surely it imported helpers, has it not? Ah, it's a different name. Helper ID. Oh, helper ID. There we go. Files. Test 2. Now, first thing I'm going to do is make sure my delete thing works. Works fine. Excellent. Working. Copy 1 of instructions. Copy of instructions. Instructions. Yeah. So let's delete those 2. Now, instructions. Copy. Paste. No, didn't run that command. Why not? Why not? Copy. Files, test 2 instructions. Paste. Okay. Let's see. Well, it's time for the old debug. If sender and cut equals false. Let's make sure we're calling the right thing. Copy. Duplicating icons. Oh. Oh. Is it not firing because the window isn't active and so Workbench is deciding, yeah, no, fuck that. But the other things work. Instructions. Like if I icon copy instruct, let's delete that. That works. So what's different there? What's going on? What's different there? Let's see. Nothing. It just literally just calls it. What's going on? What's going on here now? Maybe I have to go back and do my old one after all. Well, maybe if those crashes were because I was just hitting that too big a block in that loop, then maybe they've gone away by themselves. The ARX command, yeah, let's see. Let me see. Let me think. The AREX command isn't dealing with the file names themselves. The AREX command is literally just calling the icon, like the menu item. So each of those has a tag that you can call. Usually you get an error message if the tag doesn't exist. So let me see. So AREX send message to workbench, menu, window, helper ID, path, invoke window icons copy. Let's see if what other functions we have that do that. So where's the delete? There's a helper window. So a sort, catch it up, could copy paste, refresh new drawer info, delete, send message, workbench, invoke icons. Yeah, no, it's the wrong. You're right, it's the wrong. I didn't know EW is the event window, and that is passed as a parameter, and it comes out in this as helper ID. Well, yeah, workbench will copy the icons automatically. So if I invoke the menu thing, it will do exactly the right thing. I just need to get my shit together. Basically. Oh god, we're so close, so close. Where was I? Paste. So yeah, okay. So we know we're getting the right place. So we don't even need that there. So invoke not window. It's icons.copy because we have the window command over here. It's a window command and it's icons.copy is the stem that we're looking for. That should be it. Invoke icons.delete, rename. Yeah, this is the window menu. That's what threw me. Let's see. Not that one. I was going to go looking for documentation, but anyways, copy of instructions. Let's delete that. Fine. Instructions. Copy. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted. Copy, paste. Duplications for the fucking world. Got there eventually. That'll do. It works. So happy with that now. Happy with that. That was a simpler way of doing it. Yeah. Yes. Not reinventing the wheel. Workbench is doing all the exact things it should be doing. So all I need to do now is remove all that code that I put back in, or that I put in the copy routine. Because I don't need it. Yeah, so this whole block here. Oh, we wanted to keep that code. Oh no, it's already here. Copy flags. Yeah. Okay, so take that back out again. I'll leave it there for now, just because I'm nervous about deleting a whole chunk of code when I, I might find some other reason. Oh yeah, I wanted to check to make sure that I'll compile that anyway and make sure it works. I wanted to make sure that cut and paste worked as expected. So let's go over here, copy one of instructions, let's delete them. Instructions, cut, paste should do absolutely nothing. And then the second time it says can't open temp file because after you paste it deletes the temp file. And just for pig iron, copy, paste, paste, paste. Yes. Does it work with the directory? Yes, it does. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know, and I said it. Let's not reinvent the wheel. And then I started because I thought, no, doing the AREX would be too complicated from the child task. Stupid. Yeah, don't listen to me, Rob. Don't listen. Okay, so I think that's all working. Hooray! Move. I'm going to call that. I have the new code that I put in there. I'm going to also put into the LHA version. I'm going to bump that revision. Yay! Yeah. Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Slightly complicated to do that because it's in a hard drive image file rather than a shared directory with Windows. But yeah, I'll do that straight away once I finish this. So this is the last one. And how did I change XAD? So pack if I equals 1. Sometimes I would like to be able to have two windows open side by side. In theory I probably could do it, but yeah, otherwise it's a very nice environment, this Amiga Blitz. Okay, so if I equals 1 after archive string, I equals 1, and that goes all the way down to right before if to do and calling the archiver. If I equals 1, down to there. And let's just bump this in a bit, and that should be the same thing done for that. Maybe, possibly. Create minimize executable. Georgini LHJ. XAD, yeah, maybe that's fine. Oh, I also wanted to turn off the debug on this. Is it on? No, it's not. It's not. Georgini. Okay. So yes. Ho-ho. Done. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. So, yeah, okay, so I'm not sure about that one. I'll have to revisit that. Automatic opening and adding an extra window gadget. That is patching intuition, patching workbench. I'm not sure about that. AISS, missing images. Oh. Don't know if I can be arsed. Support different archiving tools. Done. So now, how big is Drawer Genie now? As in, like executable size? Oh yes, yes, that would be a pain. I like my editors to always use spaces even if I press tab because of that. Because I've been bitten in the arse by that before. XX size is going to be quite big, probably. So let's see. I've turned off the debugger, have I? No, you see this menu item slightly buggy, so it was actually on. So I've turned it off again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the debug mode in the code as well, because that's a compiler option, or it's a compiler directive. So some of the code gets excluded when you turn off debugging. Create minimized executable. Ooh, chunky. Okay, let's see how big that is. Files. This is a messy, messy, messy place. Oh, there it is. Amiga Blitz. Oh, where? Amiga Blitz files. Amiga Blitz projects. Amiga Blitz project is here. Sorry. Drawer Genie is over here. Drawer Genie. It is 300k. Shit. Yeah, it's quite big, quite chunky. Not made for running tight little workbenches on 1 megabyte machines. But anyways, yeah, if we look past that, it's a basic program that does quite a lot. You know, it's, what is that? 1700 lines of code plus 1400. So it's 3,500 lines of code in basic, which is kind of, you know, it's you know, it's not great. I know absolutely it's not great, but it does a job. It does the job. It depends heavily on what you use. I'm using so many commands from so many different libraries that they just, you know, it balloons the executable. But I'll show you just quickly the libraries that I was talking about. So library browser. So we've got libraries like the nlibs. Where are they? These libs here. So see these. So nbitmap. So you got these kind of functions, but they all deal with pointers and things that they're a little bit lower level. You know, so they do work, but they're a little bit lower level, and that would significantly reduce the executable size. So it might be a case that in the future I will switch to one of these and start, you know, just bring it a bit lower level. But you know, at the same time, I like coding in Blitz because it's like kind of simple and stuff like that. And if I'm going to do that, if I'm going to go to that kind of effort, I might as well just port it to C, and you know, and end up with the do it that way, which is kind of like doing it properly. But yeah, also the thing is that I'm saying there that there's like 3,500 lines of code. If you go to here and you look what you've got, I'm using a load of includes as well. Where are the includes? So, oh yeah, these are two that are mine. So these are just definitions and stuff like that. Fine. AREX.ASL file and image. These are all big includes. So for example, open new volumes. Blitz 3 source codes includes. So AREX.include. You know, this is all code as well that gets compiled in, and any commands libraries that uses get compiled in. So that's not, you know, a relatively small one, but image include is quite a big one. It's big. What's that one? No, that one. Yeah, no. That yeah. Let's go here. Open Blitz 3 source codes includes image include. Where's the image include? This is, yeah, well, there you go. It's like dwarfing my code. It's 8,500 lines of code, and it's massively overkill. So what I should really do is take the image include and strip out the functions I need and port them into my own thing. So build, yeah, so the includes, it's literally just, it's like in anything, it's an include. So at the start of compilation, it will pull these files in. So it doesn't care whether they're there's a little bit of that, but the problem is it does that with the code. Yes, it does a bit of pathfinding, and it does a bit of you know, exercising unused code and stuff like that. But the problem is, once the image include calls a function, that binary blob gets added onto your executable anyway. You see? So, and there's a lot in there, like for bitmap chunky stuff, and you know, there's a load of stuff in there that I would never use, but I'm using the routine for some pretty good graphics loading routines and stuff like that. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, there you go. That's where your code size is coming from. It just balloons up, unfortunately. For a comparison, Drawer Genie copy. 100k. Oof. Drawer Genie LHJ. See, these are all pulling in 75k, and Drawer Genie XAD is 75k as well, because they're almost identical. Yeah, I know. Anyways, it's something that I can look at in the future, but yeah, I like coding a Blitz, so it is what it is. Probably not my biggest executable either, believe it or not. I've made some pretty chunky tools. Oh. Anyways, yeah. So those executables. So yeah, like I said, it's not for your 1 meg machines. This, unfortunately. But anyways, right, there we go. I think I'll probably call it a night there, because in my mind that is basically finished. I need to update the documentation on it. What else was I going to do? Support creating. Yeah, so these are all for the next version. Look into I wanted to look into supporting XAD directly. So I think that should be it. And okay. Right. Save that again for good measure. And okay, well, like I think I will call it a night there. So let's go see. We'll see who's on and see who we can raid. Yeah, you're just showing off now. But to be fair as well, in Blitz, if you're dealing with low level stuff, it does get a lot tighter as well. You know, you've got you know, the hardware libraries don't use an awful lot of code. They're much tighter with assembly and stuff. I'm just trying to think what size. Oh, what's it called? Dodgy Rocks was. It was still big. It was still big, but you know, it was much bigger code than Drawer Genie. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Okay, right. What I'm going to do is I think we'll raid that girl Joey, who is on and playing C64 stuff. Where's the blue? There we go. Okay. Well, listen. Thank you everyone for popping in. Yeah, no, that's showing off. That's that entire game is, or that there's an awful lot of stuff in that 130 kilobytes, and you know, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's like I said, showing off. Good stuff. All right. Good night. Oh yeah, where's my raid thing gone? Yeah, let's go and raid that girl Joey. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Yeah, listen. Thank you very much, everyone. And I will. It's just an Easter egg, a mini game. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Listen. Thanks very much, everyone, and good night. Oh, where are my scenes gone? There we go.
Epic raid music here. Yippee! Yippee indeed! Woohoo! Good evening, Daedalus. I'm glad you're here. The scene's most erotic crackers. Oh dear. What does that mean? I mean, are they just busy narfing while they're cracking?